A stream of electric orange liquid pours into a tank the size of a swimming pool. The color is almost unnatural, because it is. The drink in your fridge right now contains 5% real fruit. The other 95% was engineered in a laboratory. And Sunny D has been selling it for decades. Later, we'll get to the moment the FDA stepped in and forced them to change what they could call this drink. That story is wilder than you think. Right now, a tanker truck is backing into a loading dock. Raw material intake. That truck carries high fructose corn syrup. Thick, golden, almost the consistency of warm honey. A factory worker connects a 4-inch food-grade hose to the tanker's outlet valve. Pumps pull the syrup into a massive stainless steel holding tank. Temperature sensors confirm it arrives between 65 and 75 degrees. Next dock over, a second tanker delivers water. Not tap water, reverse osmosis purified water, stripped of every mineral and contaminant. These two ingredients make up the vast majority of what ends up in your bottle. Think about that for a second. A separate cold storage delivery brings in the only actual fruit component. Concentrated orange juice arrives in frozen drums. Each drum weighs about 52 pounds. Workers load them onto a conveyor that feeds into a thaw room held at 40 degrees. Those frozen drums represent a tiny fraction of the day's production volume. The corn syrup shipment alone outweighs the juice concentrate by more than 10 to 1. The factory floor smells sweet, not like oranges, like sugar, water treatment, and base mixing. Everything starts in the water room. Purified water flows through ultraviolet sterilization tunnels. UV light destroys bacteria on contact, no chemicals needed. That treated water enters a blending vessel that holds 12,000 gallons. Picture a tank taller than a 2-story house. Automated valves open. High fructose corn syrup flows in at a precisely metered rate. Digital sensors measure sugar content in real time. Giant paddles inside the tank rotate at 40 revolutions per minute, slow enough to blend without creating air bubbles. Air bubbles would cause foaming on the bottling line. That would shut down production. This single factory produces over 1 million bottles of Sunny D per day. One facility, every single day. The base mix circulates for about 15 minutes. It looks like slightly cloudy water at this stage. No color, no flavor, no resemblance to anything you would call juice. A technician pulls a sample, tests the sugar level, confirms pH, logs the batch number. Only then does the system authorize the next phase: concentrate addition and flavor dosing. The thawed orange juice concentrate moves through insulated pipes to a small dosing station. And when I say small, I mean it. The concentrate pump looks almost comically undersized next to the corn syrup lines. That proportion is not an accident. It is the recipe. Concentrated juice enters the 12,000-gallon tank. The liquid shifts to a pale amber, still nowhere near the bright orange you recognize. So where does that famous color come from? A separate station injects a precise cocktail of additional ingredients. Canola oil enters the mix. Yes, cooking oil. It acts as an emulsifier to keep everything blended and slightly opaque. Then comes the artificial color. A measured dose transforms the pale liquid into that iconic tangerine shade. The shift happens in seconds. One moment it looks like weak tea, the next it glows orange. Would you pour canola oil into a glass of orange juice at home? Probably not, but it is flowing into this tank right now. Natural and artificial flavors arrive from a locked ingredient room. The exact formulations are proprietary. Workers add measured amounts through an injection port. Citric acid goes in next. It adjusts the tartness, makes your mouth react the way it would to real citrus. Your tongue is being tricked. The blending paddles run for another 20 minutes. The batch is now what the factory calls finished product. Stop and look at what just went into that tank. Water, high fructose corn syrup, a small amount of orange juice concentrate, canola oil, artificial color, flavors, citric acid, and synthetic vitamins. 5% of that tank is fruit juice. 5. The rest is a formula designed in a lab to taste like juice, look like juice, and sit on a shelf next to juice for years. Sunny D's packaging used the word juice prominently. The bottle showed images of fresh oranges, sun rays. Parents bought it believing they were giving their kids something close to real orange juice. Then the FDA got involved. Under federal labeling law, if your product contains less than 100% juice, you must state the exact percentage on the package. You cannot call it juice without qualification. Sunny D was forced to change its label. The front of the bottle now reads citrus beverage. Not juice drink, citrus beverage. Because at 5%, it barely qualifies for any juice-related terminology. A glass of whole milk contains more natural sugar from lactose than Sunny D contains actual fruit. The added vitamins, vitamin C, thiamine, B6, were not coming from the fruit. They were synthetic, manufactured, injected at the dosing station like every other additive. The health claims on the bottle, 100% of your daily vitamin C, come from the same supply chain as supplement pills, not from oranges. And here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Sales barely dropped. Millions of people read the new label and put the bottle in their cart anyway. Production actually increased after the label change. The product did not change, only the words on the package changed, and almost nobody cared. That tank of bright orange liquid is still spinning. The batch is approved, and it's heading to pasteurization. Pasteurization. The finished blend pumps into a flash pasteurization system. The liquid hits 161 degrees for exactly 15 seconds. This kills pathogens without cooking the flavor. The liquid passes through a series of thin heated plates. The liquid flows in a thin film across each surface. Maximum heat contact, minimum time. Then it hits a cooling section immediately. Temperature drops to 38 degrees in under a minute. This rapid heating and cooling is why Sunny D has a shelf life of weeks without refrigeration before opening. No preservatives needed. The heat does the work. Every 30 minutes, a technician pulls a sample. They test for bacterial count. The acceptable level is 0, not low, 0. Any positive reading shuts the line down. That flush wastes about 800 gallons of product, roughly 4,000 bottles down the drain. Bottling. The cooled beverage enters a buffer tank that feeds the bottling line. Empty bottles arrive from an on-site blow molding machine. Tiny plastic preforms, they look like test tubes, drop into a mold. Compressed air inflates them into the Sunny D bottle shape in under 3 seconds. Those bottles travel into a rinse station. A jet of sterile air blasts the inside of each one. No water, air only. Water residue would dilute the product. The filling machine handles 80 bottles per minute. Sensors weigh every 5th bottle. If a fill is off by more than 2 grams, that bottle gets rejected automatically. Can you imagine checking 4,000 bottles an hour? The machine does it without blinking. Caps feed from a hopper above. A rotary capper torques each lid to a precise tightness. Too loose and it leaks. Too tight and the customer cannot open it. A foil seal under the cap gets heat bonded to the bottle rim. That seal is your tamper evidence. It's also what keeps a product shelf stable until you break it. Packaging and quality control. Sealed bottles ride the conveyor through a label station. Pre-printed shrink-wrap sleeves slide over each bottle. A heat tunnel shrinks the plastic tight. That label now says citrus beverage exactly where the FDA requires it. An optical scanner reads every label at full line speed. It checks for print defects and barcode readability. A blurred barcode means a grocery store scanner won't read it. That bottle gets kicked off the line. Bottles group into packs. A case packer arranges them into cardboard boxes. A robotic arm palletizes those boxes onto wooden pallets. Every pallet gets stretch wrapped. A forklift moves it to a cold warehouse. Random bottles from every batch go to the quality lab. Technicians test for sugar content, acidity, color consistency, vitamin levels, and microbial activity. They also do a taste test. A human being sips every batch that leaves this factory. If the color is one shade too pale, that batch gets held. Trucks leave the loading dock every 18 minutes during peak production. Each truck carries about 22 pallets. Every bottle on that truck contains 5% juice and 95% of something that was never inside an orange. It's wild that the most popular juice in millions of fridges was never really juice at all. Knowing that Sunny D is 95% lab-engineered formula, does that change whether you would drink it? Tell me in the comments. If this is the kind of story you want more of, subscribe to Process On.